Hi there, I'm Tracy Savage. I'm a full-time instructor at Pierce College. I became a college professor in 2010, but prior to teaching, I worked in the media for almost my entire life. I've worked in TV, film, and radio, and I produced content for the internet. I've even done some PR work, and I have a son, who's a teenager now. So I'm fairly familiar with video games. Basically, I've had firsthand experience in most of the forms of media that we cover in this class. I'm from the San Fernando Valley. I went to Granada Hills High School and attended UCLA for 2 years and then transferred to the University of Michigan, where I got a degree in communications. And while in college in Ann Arbor, Michigan, I got my first experience as a TV journalist, interning at a TV station in Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, that's a lot of hair. In 2014, I went back to college and got a master's degree in digital journalism. Yes, you can teach old dogs new tricks. By the way, the graduate program I completed was entirely online. I'm a big fan of online courses. It would have been very tough getting a master's degree while working full-time if I wasn't able to take the classes from the comfort and convenience of my own home. Prior to becoming a college professor, I spent 30 years working as a broadcast journalist. I've been on the air in Los Angeles since 1991. My first TV reporting job was right out of college. I went from Ann Arbor, Michigan to Toledo, Ohio. I also reported in Flint, Michigan and Dayton, Ohio. I reported in the Midwest for 6 years before getting a job back home here in Los Angeles in 1991. I was hired by KCAL TV, Channel 9, where I worked as a reporter from 1991 to 1994. I was a field reporter at KCAL, covering such major stories as the Los Angeles riots and the Northridge earthquake. I worked out of the back of news vans, and sometimes from inside the station's helicopter, reporting on fires and other big events from up above. Now, I haven't just covered tragedies. I've also had a chance to have a little fun. I've flown in an F-18 with the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, and I was the co-pilot in an F-16, flying with the Air Force Thunderbirds. I was hired by KNBC-TV in 1994, and I spent almost a decade on the air working for Channel 4 News. If you were born in the 80s, or even before then, you may remember my coverage of the O.J. Simpson trial. I was one of KNBC's primary reporters assigned to cover the trial from gavel to gavel. I was even forced to testify in this trial. I was subpoenaed by O.J. Simpson's attorneys, who tried to force me to reveal my confidential sources. They tried, but they didn't succeed. I still have never told a soul the names of my sources. I've covered floods, fires, earthquakes, riots, snow up in the Grapevine. I got to cover the Olympics in Atlanta. For more than 20 years in Los Angeles, I've had a front row seat to history. In addition to working as a field reporter, I've also been a TV news anchor. At the news desk, anchoring Today in LA Weekend News for KNBC-TV. I've worked in radio, anchoring Afternoon Drive for KFWB Radio behind the mic for 8 years, and I spent a couple of years working for Time Warner Cable. I began teaching in 2010. I taught at the Annenberg School of Journalism at USC for 2 years before being hired to teach full-time at Pierce College. Teaching is my third career. Before teaching and before working as a journalist, I was a child actress for almost 20 years, from the age of 2 until I went away to college. Yeah, that's a face you don't want to see. I did a lot of TV work, commercials and TV shows. I was a regular on Little House on the Prairie for the first 2 years. The last real acting job I did before moving to Michigan to finish college, I starred in a little movie called Friday the 13th, Part 3. I left showbiz in dramatic fashion, with a knife through the neck. Don't try this one at home, kids. Don't worry, I healed quickly, and Jason and I are old pals now. Well, enough about me. Now I want to learn about you.